It was an ordinary Tuesday. The kind of evening where nothing feels wrong. Until everything is. The clock struck 7, and the air grew heavy with a silence that shouldn't have been there. Dinner was cold. The second plate remained a haunting reminder of a missing presence. He watched the rain, searching for a silhouette that wasn't appearing. The messages went unread. The silence was becoming deafening. Steps on the pavement. A sound that used to be comforting was now a ghost. Then the rain came, washing away the traces of the day. Even the walls seemed to know. A family of 3 suddenly incomplete. She left at 5. She never came back. At 5:07 p.m., she made one phone call. 12 seconds long. Then, silence. A mask of calm hiding the storm that was about to break. The world moved on, oblivious to the one car left behind. A handbag, a door left open, a life interrupted in a single heartbeat. The calls went into a void. 8 times the hope rang out, and 8 times it died. The light flickered, as if the night itself was struggling to breathe. A reflection, a memory, fading into the gray. Footprints in the mud, ending in a question mark that no one could answer. A red scarf caught like a desperate plea in the wind. 8 o'clock, then 9, then 10. The house grew quieter with every hour she didn't walk through that door. The door remained shut, a barrier between the world he knew and the nightmare he was entering. A child sleeps, waiting for a good night that might never come. Then, the call that changes a life. 3 numbers, one last hope. The sterile lights of the precinct offer no comfort, only the cold reality of a missing person's file. Her life reduced to a form, a description, a plea for help. A birthday smile, now a piece of evidence in a dark investigation. Every light in the neighborhood went out, except for the one where sleep was impossible. Even the dog waits, listening for the sound of a key that isn't turning. A lipstick mark on a mug, the last tangible trace of her morning routine. She had never been late, not once, not ever. The police arrived at midnight. They asked questions. But the questions only led to more questions. In the rain, he saw only the cold truth. Time was slipping away. The perimeter was set, but the danger was already long gone. Witnesses spoke in whispers, their memories as blurred as the rain. A red line on a map. A path that should have ended at home. Every frame was a ghost. Every second was a shadow. One pulsing dot. The last place the world saw her. 7 p.m. The moment she vanished into the thin, cold air. Into the woods, where the scents of the past meet the silence of the night. 48 hours. The window of hope was closing. Before she was a case number, she was someone's whole world. A mother's touch. A promise of a future that felt so certain. Those small, quiet moments that we take for granted. Until they're gone. She was strong. She was capable. She was a force of nature. A quiet life. Lived with intention and love. The roses she planted still bloom, unaware of the winter in his heart. 2 lives, 2 phones, 1 secret that could be the key, and she had been silent about it. The messages she thought were gone were waiting. 47 calls, a digital shadow that refused to leave her alone. She was more than a missing person. She was a mother, a wife, a friend. The promises of youth, now tested by the darkness of the present. The greatest monster is the one who knows your secrets. The betrayal was absolute. A voice hollow and broken, telling a story that should have stayed a nightmare. The exact moment the world shifted. The moment she knew there was no going back. And there, in the hollow of the woods, the end of the trail. She drew strength from the only thing the darkness couldn't touch. Her daughter's face. In that darkness, alone, cold, bleeding, she made a choice. She chose to survive. Every scratch was a testament to her existence. Outside, the world was searching, unaware of how close they were to the light. A loose board, a sliver of hope. She fought for every inch of her freedom. Inch by painful inch, she reclaimed her life from the shadows. Then, through the branches, a sign of a world that still existed. Light. She fell, but the earth couldn't hold her. She rose again and again. her daughter's name, a prayer that kept her heart beating. But the story didn't end with her rescue, because how it happened was the most disturbing chapter of all. Obsession documented in plastic. The evidence was as cold as the basement where it was found. His walls were a shrine to a life he didn't own, a museum of a stolen gaze. The detective's voice held the weight of the truth, a steady hand in a storm of lies. One word, a lifetime of weight lifted. Guilty. One tear for the woman she was, 1,000 breaths for the woman she would become. 2 paths, one desperate, one determined, a struggle written in the earth. Marks on the wood, a story of a fight that no one should have to face. The air was still heavy with the memory of the struggle, a silence that screamed, a plea in ash, a voice where there was none. Help! A pair of women's shoes left perfectly and neatly by a front door at night, hauntingly still, dark cinematic shadows, 35mm grain. An open journal on a wooden desk, last entry clearly visible. I'm scared. He knows where I live. Shocking revelation, 35mm style. Grainy mall CCTV security footage of a woman looking over her shoulder nervously while walking. Paranoia and tension, 35mm style. A dark, ominous figure reflected in a shop window, following a few steps behind a woman. Horror and suspense, 35mm style. She thought she was alone, but the shadow was always just a heartbeat away.